All right, here we are live, and welcome to the UFC 170 fight picks.
Yes.
How'd you like 169? We went to Buffalo Wild Wings to see that
did.
one. You schooled me to some cheesecake bites.
Cheesecake bites,
Wow.
that's all I got to say.
That was like the highlight of the night. Besides
many
the Abel Trujillo knockout of Jamie Ford. The whole place was like,
man.
oh!
What?
One of the biggest knockouts I ever seen.
How many cheesecake bites did we get?
I got, I think, 3 orders.
I think I got 3 orders.
Dave got 1 or 2.
There you go.
I preferred the chocolate dipping sauce to the
I preferred caramel
as
as opposed to our waitress. She's like, I like chocolate. And I was like, I'll go caramel.
Yeah, I'll go chocolate. Yeah, that was awesome. And I took 169 in a similar fashion as you took 168.
By a chin hair.
Yeah, by a chin hair. And now I think we're tied in the standings. You're leading by 3 more points in the ranking system, though.
I'm all right with that.
I changed something. The decisions, they're no longer 5 points. They're 3 points because it's easy to call a decision. It's a lot harder to call the method of win and what round. So that's 5 points if you get that.
Okay, I agree.
So
I agree with you.
It didn't benefit either one of us in any kind of advantage. So if anything, I would have gotten more points on a 5-point system. So I screwed myself a little, but I think it's only fair.
In fairness.
Right. But yeah, it was a pretty good overall night for 169.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about a couple fighters that just didn't. I feel as though they did not show up to fight.
There was a lot of decisions, and so many decisions that Dana White and the powers that be have now changed the bonuses. It's no longer knockout of the night or submission of the night. They're given just overall performance bonuses now, which is kind of crappy, but it also motivates you if you see a fight like, oh, they brought it. Now it's time for you to bring it. So it might motivate. It might motivate better fights. Who knows?
I understand.
We'll have to wait and see. But we have some fights to talk about here at 170.
Boom.
I'll be getting it at my new place next week, so I hope to see you there. Hope to see a couple other people there, and we ought to have a good time. I was going to scrap it because Rashad Evans got hurt, and I'm glad we actually waited a week to do this podcast because we would have had all kinds of old fights. You don't know how much this card has changed.
A lot of cards changed.
This is crazy. It's nuts. It's madness. But anyway, let's jump into our first fight of UFC 170, the prelims. We're going to have fun size Zach Makovsky against the Gremlin Josh Sampo. Yeah. And this fight, you got fun size here.
Yeah. Bethlehem, PA.
Yeah, he's a PA native. He's 1-0 in the UFC. With a win over Scott Jorgensen in his UFC debut, Fun Size Makovsky is looking to keep the train rolling against Josh Sampo. He was a Bellator bantamweight champion, and he won the Season 3 Bellator tournament. So that says a lot about Makovsky. And I think Josh Sampo, he's 1-0 also in the UFC.
Yeah, the Gremlin Josh Sampo stands on a similar ground as Fun Size with a win in his UFC debut against Ryan Benoit.
That's pretty big.
Except he finished his fight via rear naked chokehold.
Yeah, okay. So Makovsky won by decision, Sampo by rear naked choke. I don't expect a lot out of this fight. It's a flyweight fight. These guys are quick, which means they don't really have a whole lot of power to go against each other with. It's hard to say, though, who's going to win this fight. I think, me personally, I'm going to go decision, fun size, Zach Makovsky.
You know what? Just because he's a native.
Pennsylvania.
Bethlehem's about an hour and a half northeast of us.
Yes, it is, yep.
I'm going to go with him. Same with you.
Cool.
Decision? Yep.
All right. Makovsky, I did see his last fight, so... I mean, I like what I see. I mean, it did go to decision, but it is what it is. I hope this fight ends in some other type of fashion. I'm tired of seeing decisions. I want these guys to start laying it out there, man.
Definitely a lot last time.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. This next fight number 2 of the prelims, we got Cody Gibson and Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, and they are both unlockable characters.
Yeah, anyway. I was going to put my own thing on there because, look, you can even see on there. So, yeah, Cody Gibson against Aljamain Sterling. Cody Gibson, this fight was actually supposed to be Brian Caraway versus Lucas Martins, but Caraway got hurt and was replaced by up-and-comer Aljamain Sterling. Then Lucas Martins got hurt, and now he's replaced by newcomer Cody Gibson. Like I said, this fight card changed a lot in the past couple weeks. I haven't seen much about Cody Gibson other than I think the powers that be want the Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling, to be the next big star. He's got the potential to be. Therefore, I think they're throwing Gibson to the wolves in this fight. However, never underestimate the underdog because anything can happen anytime.
Yep, and we definitely have seen that multiple times in this. But with the Funk Master, boasting an 8-0 MMA career record, he's looking to make an impact on his UFC debut.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
The Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling, right there. Here, there's a picture of him.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, he replaced Caraway, and
just 2 days after signing.
Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty big one.
Yeah.
I think he's going to take it.
Who, Sterling?
Yep.
I think I agree with you. You know, I've read on a few websites that he's like the next big thing, so I'd like to see what's going on. Like I said, I think they're throwing Gibson to the wolves here. This was originally supposed to be a different fight, and now they're just trying to make something big out of this one. So I look for the Funk Master to take this in the first round.
Yeah, even though he is 3 inches shorter.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm taking Aljamain Sterling first round knockout.
No,
TKO strikes.
That's not happening. He's good. He's not that good. How about I really don't want this to go decision. How about second round knockout?
The Funk Master.
Yep.
Okay. Now I hope Cody Gibson doesn't come in here and shut us all up because I'd like to get a win out of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. What's our next fight?
Our next fight is
Rafael Asuncao against Pedro Munoz.
Another unlockable character.
Yeah, Pedro Munoz. We don't have a picture of him up there yet, but he is undefeated, it looks like.
He's the young Punisher.
Yes.
So, yeah, Asuncao.
Yeah.
He's on a 5-fight win streak, but he lost his UFC debut, but he hasn't lost since.
Nope.
He's got victories over Mike Easton and TJ Dillashaw. I don't think he's going to lose against Munoz.
No, he shouldn't. He's number 3, and he's fighting a newcomer.
Yeah, I mean, this guy wanted a title shot against Renan Barão after Rivera was forced to drop out.
Yeah, they were going to move this fight to a different UFC, I think UFC 171, and of course, Dana said, no, you're not getting a title shot against Renan Barão because he just fought Uriah Faber. Even though he only fought for, 2 minutes, didn't have a scratch on him. He probably could have went into another fight, and I think he would beat Asuncao. But now Asuncao has to fight Munoz, who's 0-0. UFC just signed Munoz to take on a late notice substitution for Frank Rivera. Don't really know anything about Munoz, but I don't like his chances because I've seen Rafael Asuncao fight Uriah Faber in a WEC fight, and he held his ground. He did pretty good. He didn't beat Uriah Faber, but I think it went all 3 rounds. He looked good, and I'm sure he's gotten better since. So I look for Rafael Asuncao to win this fight. How? I'm going to say submission, 3rd round.
Wow. I really don't want to go with you again.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have to.
Right.
But I want to say 2nd round.
Asuncao.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how? You say submission. I'll say knockout.
Knockout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, do you want to touch on the Faber fight from
we can. I mean, if you're speaking in regards to Herb Dean stopping the fight early.
I am indeed talking about that.
You know, Faber could have been a lot more pissed than what he was. Don't get me wrong, he was upset, but he respects.
He took it graciously,
he respects Herb Dean, and I do too. You know, we all make mistakes. It sucks that it's a title fight of that caliber, and he gave him the thumbs up. Even when you see the replay, you can see your eyes like.
But he didn't do anything.
No,
and that's a lot of people's arguments. Like he took. Was it 15, 20 punches to the head, just covering up with?
Yeah, they were kind of soft punches. They weren't real hard, but What helped that, I think, is you can see at one point Henan Barrow.
He looks
up.
Yeah,
he looks up to Herb Dean like, let's go, stop the fight. And that convinced Herb Dean. And that's what happens. You see it in the NFL, too, where players are like, where's the flag? Where's the flag?
No, I'll throw
one. Especially when they had the replacement referees. You were seeing flags just because the guy looked over and said, what's going on? Let's go.
I'll throw a flag.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'm messing up here.
But, I mean, it sucks to see it go down that quick, but he was not winning that round.
Well, no, definitely not winning the round.
There was a time, I think, where it could have almost been called before that.
Yeah.
I mean, he got hit hard.
Yeah, he did. But it wasn't knockout potential power.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
And I think that this fight could have went to a decision. I just would have liked to seen a longer fight. It sucks that it was in and out that quick.
So are we going to see another rematch?
I don't know. Let me tell you something about Uriah Faber. Every fight he's ever lost was a title fight.
Wow.
Yep. Any fight he's ever lost was a title fight. Either for the title or defending his title. He lost to Jose Aldo defending his title with some vicious leg kicks. And that kind of convinced him to move weight divisions because he was like, man, I don't know if I'll ever be able to beat Aldo. Aldo's a beast.
All right, we'll go to the next fight.
Next fight is our first women's fight of the night.
Because there's two.
There is two. And this one is Alligator, Alexis Davis, against Jessica Ai.
Yes.
Looks like Davis is 2-0 already in the UFC since we've had the women's division open up. She's already has two fights under her belt.
How long ago was that? Do you recall?
About a year ago. Maybe a little over, a little under. About a year ago.
Yep. She is Alexis Davis. She's a black belt and Japanese and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. 2-0, as you said. Coming off a big win against Liz Carmouche.
Yes. She beat her. She's ranked number 3 in the women's division, Alexis Davis, and she's fighting the number 5 ranked Jessica Ai. Jessica Ai is 1-0, and just a few days ago, the Texas Commission overturned a win that I had over Sarah Kaufman, taking a split decision to overturning it into a no contest because she tested positive for marijuana. Oh. Hey, go ahead and get high. Why not?
Get high, Ai.
Ask Ricky Williams about that. Strange decision, but it's expected. It's not unheard of, but I don't think it should be allowed to overturn a fight unless you fail a drug test because they drug test you right after the fight to make sure.
It's not like HGH or anything.
No, right. It's marijuana. Come on. Anyway, Jessica Ai definitely has her work cut out for her, and I think I'm taking Alexis Davis via submission in the second round.
Well, I have to go against you here. I want to take Ai, even though she's ranked 5th, and Davis is 3rd.
You think she got all the weed out of her system?
Yeah, okay. Hopefully.
Okay.
I'll take her decision.
Decision? Okay. Yeah, most women's fights end in decision unless it's a Ronda Rousey fight. Then you're getting your arm ripped off.
And we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will. Hey, first fight of the pay-per-view card.
Yes.
We got a solid Robert Whittaker against Steven, the Wonder Boy Thompson.
Can we talk about his mustache real quick in this picture?
Yeah, look at that picture. You know who he kind of reminds me of is kind of like Denny from up at the market. Runs the game store.
Video game store Denny.
Yeah.
Right.
He won the lottery at one point, a couple thousand or something. Anyway, Robert Whittaker, Steven Wonderboy Thompson. Let's see what we got on the list here.
I see Whittaker does not have a nickname. Maybe it should be the Mustache.
The Stash.
Yeah.
Robert the Stash Whittaker.
El Stash.
El Stasho.
Yeah. Yes.
Welterweight fight.
Yeah. He won the TUF, smashed his welterweight title. Yep. He won a big fight against
the Ultimate Fighter 15 winner Colton Smith.
Yeah. Then lost a split decision to season 11 winner Court McGee.
Yep. So he's been fighting a lot of Ultimate Fighter alumni. He is 2-1 in the UFC. And he's fighting a guy that has an excellent kickboxing background in Steven Wonderboy Thompson. Undefeated kickboxer at that, with 28 wins coming by knockout before he entered the UFC. In 2006, he was ranked number 1 in Chuck Norris's World Combat League. Get that.
Wow.
He's 3-1 in the UFC, and when he entered, he won his first fight via head kick in the first round. He's looking to continue his dominance. His second fight was against the mortal Matt Brown, which he lost by unanimous decision. So it's not bad because Matt Brown's a beast, and I'm going to take Stephen Thompson in this fight. As just hearing about that kickboxing background, It seems like he's an animal.
I mean, kickboxers are always dangerous.
Yeah, they are. I mean, unless Whitaker gets him on the ground.
Yeah, I was going to say, can Whitaker defend it, though? You take Thompson. What did you say? What round?
I didn't. I think I'm going to call knockout in this fight, too. We've seen a lot of decisions last card, and I think stuff's going to change with this one. We're going to see another knockout here by Stephen Thompson in the second round.
A lot of second-round picks tonight. I'll take Whitaker submission third round.
Not bad. I'm glad we're finding a couple different fights to counter each other on.
I kind of don't want to do it, but I have to.
Yeah, we got to counter each other a little bit more. Mike Pyle against Anthony T.J. Waldberger in our next fight. This was actually like the first prelim fight before all of this card got switched around, and they actually moved it as a pay-per-view fight.
Wow.
So
that's not the one.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting there.
Ooh. So they moved a prelim fight to the main card.
Yep.
Wow.
Mike Pyle is ranked number 15 in the UFC. I don't know. You might remember him. He's always rocking a mullet. I call him Mullet Mike Pyle. He's 8-4 in the UFC, and he holds wins over Rick Story, which Rick Story is one of my favorite fighters, and he's fighting in the next pay-per-view, so we'll talk about him soon. And he won against Josh Neer. He's coming off a loss to Immortal Matt Brown, just like Stephen Thompson. Like I said, that's not a bad thing because Matt Brown is a beast, and he's looking impressive with his title push. So it's a little bit about Mike Pyle.
Yep. And Waldberger is coming off a loss against Amagov. Yep. His last win was against the Jersey Devil Nick Catone, where he won via triangle choke in the second round.
Yep. Yeah, he's a beast. I mean, he's still young yet. He's only 25 years old, and he's got a lot of time ahead of him. And I like him as a prospect. I was never really big on Mullet Mike Pyle, but Waldberger, I think that's who I'm going to take in this fight. I still have yet to decide what method, but I think I might go with decision because Mike Pyle's good enough to hold him off for a while. So this fight could go either way. This is. I'm glad they moved this to the pay-per-view card and not just a prelim fight because it's going to be a good fight. So I'm going to take T.J. Waldberger decision.
Can I do a kind of if then?
Yeah.
I'm going to go if Mike has the mullet, he wins.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you take this.
If not, Waldberger wins.
Okay, you're going to do decision on both of those choices?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
That's not bad. That's
splice it up a little bit.
That's pretty neat. I like that. I wish I would have thought of that, because now I'm going to be worried if he shows up with the mullet.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? He's the only guy that got the balls just to come in with a mullet. I mean, Whitaker got the stash, El Stachio, and Mr. Mullet over here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. I call this a triple main event because this next fight is huge. Rory McDonald against Damian Maia. Two awesome fighters, and this is going to be an awesome fight. If you never got to see these guys fight before, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Rory McDonald, he's boasted as like the next big thing, and I don't know, a welterweight fight. You got number 4 ranked Rory, you got number 6 Damian Maia. McDonald 6-2 in the UFC. Like I said, he's highly touted as the next big thing, coming off a loss to Robbie Lawler, which now that granted Robbie Lawler a title shot against Johnny Hendricks because GSP walked away.
Yeah.
So Lawler would have ended up fighting GSP, but since he walked away, it's going to be Johnny Hendricks. The only other loss he has is against Carlos Condit, which is another great fighter. He did training with GSP, and it was once said that they would never fight each other because they're buddies. Yeah. They're fellow Canadian buddies. He takes a lot of heat for it, and he fights like GSP, where he plays more defense than goes for other like knockouts and submissions. But he might need to because Maia is a beast.
Yeah, he's a 4th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. I mean, his list of accomplishments is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Amount of top tier fighters he's fought against is unmatched.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest fighters I ever watched, and look at him, he's 36 years old.
Yeah.
So the experience is definitely there. 18 wins, 5 losses in his whole MMA career. This is the hardest fight for me to pick because both of these guys are awesome fighters, and I just don't know which way to go with it. So I might just let you pick and then go off of that.
Okay, well, would you say that Maia's kind of getting up there in age?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, 36, that's kind of old for a fighter, so.
Yeah.
But that's experience, too.
That's true.
And you're fighting a guy like Rory McDonald, who is young, but he's, like I said, he's not risky. He doesn't really go for anything. And both of these guys are going to feel each other out for a round or two, so this might go to decision.
Yeah. And this fight's still 3-rounder, right? We got
yes, this will be
the
a
last 2
fight.
or 5.
No, it's only title shot fights and main events. So the reason why
it's
the
not
last
a co-main.
Right. Well, it is a co-main event, but because it's not a title fight.
Gotcha.
It's either the very last fight or any title shot. That's why the last two or the last one, because they were both title shots, so they were both 5-rounders.
Okay, all right. Well, let's say Maia is the aggressor. Second round knockout.
Damian Maia?
Yep.
I like Damian Maia's chances against Rory McDonald. I have heard nothing but high praise for Rory, and I haven't been that impressed with him as of yet. But I'm going to take Rory. I'm going to take Rory.
He's
I
the
wanted
next
to take
big
Maia,
thing.
but you took Maia. I want to counter you, and I want to say Rory's going to finally impress me. He might not. I'm going to take decision.
Okay.
Probably going to be a boring fight, so I'll take decision. I hope he impresses me and wins in other fashion.
I just want to see a knockout. So
yeah, that would be great.
Hoping for it.
I hope there's a knockout every fight.
That'd be awesome.
The next fight was supposed to be Rashad Evans and Daniel Cormier, but Evans got hurt. We won't find out till Monday for how long he's going to be out. So they called up Pat Cummins, and there's a story behind that.
Oh yeah.
Patrick Cummins is, of course, a newcomer here in the UFC. So, of course, his record's going to be 0-0. But his 4 pro wins were all in the first round.
Wow.
2 by knockout, 2 by submission. This fight was going to get moved to UFC 172 in Baltimore, which we're going.
We are going.
I cannot wait. My first and maybe only UFC live event.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. So get this. Patrick Cummins has stated that he trained with Daniel Cormier at a gym a couple times, and he said he used to break him every day. And now Daniel Cormier responded, said, that's bullshit. We're going to find out at UFC 170 if that's bullshit. And the other story behind this is that Dana White calls Patrick Cummins, and Pat's at work at a coffee shop, and his boss fires him while he's on the phone. Dana White hears it and says, tell your boss to go fuck himself because you got the fight. Now, that is awesome. That's awesome. Now, whether or not all these stories are made up by Dana White to try to sell this fight, you know what I mean? Because it was supposed to be Evans and Cormier.
Which is huge.
And this could be just a big sell. Regardless, just hearing this makes me want to see this fight now.
Yeah.
So they sold me. If it's all a scam, it worked well because they sold me on it.
Yeah, we fell for it.
Daniel Cormier just dropped down to light heavyweight for this fight. Like I said, due to reasons like Rory and GSP, he doesn't want to fight his buddy Cain Velasquez. Crybaby. I think it's a chump move, but it is what it is. And most people think that light heavyweight is a more natural weight for Cormier because he stands at 5'8", though he's billed at 5'10". I was never big on Cormier, even though a lot of other fighters are. I just think I need to watch a little bit more of him. I just heard him on the Steve Austin Show podcast recently. And the fact that he's a big WWE fan and he kind of knows what he's talking about, he gained a little bit of fanfare from me. So, and I'm actually going to take him in this fight, although I think Pat Cummins winning in this fight is what I really want to see, like a real Rocky story. So if all of what they're saying is true, I would rather see Patrick Cummins win this fight.
Yeah. I mean, if Patrick Cummins is working at a coffee shop, he gets fired while talking to the president of UFC on the telephone.
Right.
Stick it to that. Stick it to your boss, man.
And it sounds like something Dana would do. Go tell him to fuck himself. You got the fight.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'll take Cummins.
Will you? That's
yeah.
awesome. I'm glad you're taking – because I'm going to take Cormier, but I'm glad you're taking Cummins because even though that might put you up in the standings, I still would rather see that. But I just got that feeling. I mean, Cormier's like I think he's an Olympic medalist.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter.
This guy just got fired.
Right.
So.
Like I said, anything can happen in the UFC.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Daniel Cormier by TKO in the first round.
Wow. Going hard, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if Patrick Cummins made him break all the time,
he's going to grind him out, try to maybe get him in like a submission or something.
Maybe this one, man, I don't know what to say here.
Yeah. I hope you stick with Cummins, though.
I'm not changing.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure. I'm just getting a feel for,
nice.
And how does he fight? How does Patrick Cummins fight?
Well, like I said, 4-0. All 4 fights coming by way of the first round, 2 by submission, 2 by knockout.
Well, this doesn't go first round for him. This goes second round knockout.
Wow. I'm hyped for this fight, man. Like I said, I was getting ready to just cancel it when they said Evans and him might just go to Baltimore, but I'm sold now.
Yeah.
Final fight.
Boom.
Here we go, the main event, Ronda Rousey versus Sarah McMahon. I've never seen McMahon fight.
Neither have I.
But, oh, my God, look how hot Ronda is in that picture. Jesus.
Look at McMahon. She doesn't look as
I'd
hot as
rather
Ronda.
not. Rowdy Ronda Rousey. 2-0 in the UFC, undefeated, 8-0 overall. All of her wins coming by armbar submission. 100% of her fights she won by submission. She is the champion. I call her the fighter people love to hate. She's now 2-0, of course. She boasted in the spotlight immediately after signing with the UFC a little over a year ago. She is the most prominent figure in the women's MMA and maybe the entire MMA. I believe she has now surpassed the popularity of fellow retired MMA fighter Gina Carano, a fight I would love to see, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. They talk about it, but I really don't see it happening.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, she's there. What can you say about her? She's a beast. Mm-hmm. She's an animal, but she's fighting an Olympic silver medalist wrestler in Sarah McMahon.
Yeah, but will Olympic wrestling background be enough to defend the armbar?
I don't know because I think Rousey's training with an Olympic wrestler right now.
She could be an Olympic wrestler. I mean, she could be a gold medalist.
I can see Sarah McMahon, though, training boxing to try to, like, switch up the game plan. You know what I mean?
All right. She could surprise a lot of people.
It's highly possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know what. There's not much to say about McMahon. I mean, I just don't know much about her.
Yeah.
It's possible McMahon could win this fight, although I don't know. I got to take Rousey.
You're gonna take Rousey?
Yeah, I have to.
I would love to sit here and say I'd love to counter you, but how can you go against Ronda Rousey? You know what I mean?
From the last pay-per-view event that we saw with Miesha Tate.
But Miesha had her in a couple instances where I seen her like punch in her face. I was like, uh-oh, this might be bad for Ronda. So I think if Sarah comes out gunning with some fists, Ronda's reaction is going to be jiu-jitsu because that's what she knows. Try to grab her, throw her down, take her arm. But I think Sarah McMahon might be ready for this. Might be overly ready for this.
Well, and see, that's another thing. Like, Ronda just got done doing a pay-per-view event.
I know. And she even told Dana White before the fight, I think it was, Dana was like, hey, you win this fight because most likely you're going to beat Cupcake. You want to take on Sarah McMahon? She said, yeah, let's do it. Because Dana White's just like, they're hyping Ronda Rousey up so much that John Jones is even pissed. John Bones Jones, who's I think the number 1 pound for pound, number 1 in the world, is feels like he's not getting enough spotlight from the UFC. He's like, they're giving it all to Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Cry me a river. It's up to you too to promote yourself.
Yeah.
Dude, you got endorsement deals by Nike. And what else do you want? You know what I mean? He's got all the money in the world, and he's crying about this.
Yeah.
And whatever. I think Ronda Rousey's winning this fight, of course, by armbar. And you know what? Screw it. First round.
You called that last time. It happened second round.
No. I called second round. It happened third round. You called
right.
third round.
I called that. You're right. My bad.
You got 5 points for that too.
I did. I got to do it. I'm going to go McMahon.
Nice.
But does it go decision? That's 5 rounds. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in 5 rounds.
It'd be very amazing if Sarah beats her by submission or even TKO.
It's happening in the 4th round.
Ronda Rousey has never, besides that Miesha Tate fight, she's never been out of the first round. And that fight went to the third.
It's going 4.
Okay.
And it's going to be submission.
Okay. No way. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to picture what it's going to look like if Ronda loses. You know what I mean? She's never lost before. They kind of portray her, and she portrayed herself as kind of a spoiled brat on The Ultimate Fighter, believe it or not. I still like her, but the way her attitude is, I think she would take a loss with grace. I think she would shake her hand. She just doesn't like Miesha Tate, and I think she's going to prove that to everybody this next fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, there you have our picks. There is a free fight tonight. I don't know if you know this. There's another free fight. Fight night 36. Lyoto Machida versus Gegard Mousasi. Now, Machida is one of my favorite fighters. Cannot wait to see this fight. He's fighting Mousasi, who I don't really know a whole lot about. He fought in the WEC or Bellator or something. I don't know. But I seen a matchup picture with him, and Mousasi got a Jets hat on. Done. He's done. He's getting beat in the first round. Screw the Jets. I can't stand them.
Oh, New Jersey.
And then we got Jacare against Francis Carmona. Jacare is his nickname. Ronaldo Souza. Jacare, and it's alligator in Portuguese. They call him the alligator, and he's a beast. He's the next big thing for welterweight. But he's fighting Francis Carmona, and that's going to be – I can't wait. It's going to be a good thing tonight. We're going down to Dad's, I think.
Yeah,
Dad doesn't have Fox Sports 1, so I got my DVR set.
Boom.
But I got the laptop, and we'll watch the prelims maybe down there. We'll hook it up.
Awesome.
So there you have it. That's UFC 170. That's our picks. We're going to get out of here, and we'll be back to tell everybody how bad I beat Cam on this one.
Right.
Can't wait. Ronda Rousey, first round, armbar.
4th round, submission.
Sarah McMahon, you're going down.
Just like this song.
Sarah McMahon's falling down.